we're going to start on the floor. And we're going to start with a neck roll. So we're going to just start with looking over to the right and then looking over to the left. Keeping those shoulders really relaxed, pressed down into the floor. And just breathe, taking a breath in as you go to one side and then breathe out as you go to the other side. Just warming up that neck. And then we're going to take a chin tuck. So coming back to center, you're going to tuck the chin towards your chest and then lift the chin. Not too much with the lift. Mainly we're trying to tuck the chin to the back of the throat and then lift the chin. And tucking the chin and lifting the chin. We're going to build this up a little bit more to get your neck muscles working. So come back to center, and then I want you to lift the head ever so slightly, just sliding a piece of paper underneath your head, and then press the head back down into your mat. So lifting very slightly and pressing down. It doesn't make the exercise any better by lifting your head more dramatically. It's actually just that bit where you just lift off the floor and then press it back down. So you're encouraging that correct posture, postural place of the neck or the head on the body. And then we're going to build this up a little bit more because you're going to lift the head this time and you're going to keep it elevated as you look over to your right and then look over to your left. If that feels too much for your neck, then just keep the head down on the floor and just roll it from side to side as we were doing earlier. But if you can, lift it ever so slightly off the floor and then roll to the right and then roll to the left and then come back down and rest it. So then we're going to lift the head this time and you're going to tuck the chin and lift the chin very slightly, tuck the chin and lift, and then you can place the head back down on the floor. And just to relax that neck, I want you to now just roll it from side to side, keeping the head down on the floor and just relax it. And then from there, we're going to go into some shoulder drops. So we're going to take the arms up towards the ceiling. We've got palms facing. And we're going to reach up with both little fingers up towards the ceiling and then relax the shoulders back down. So let's breathe in as we lift up towards the ceiling and breathe out as you relax them back down. So when you relax them back down, keep trying to get those shoulders to relax even more into the floor. It's as if they're spreading wide into your mat. Use the breath to help you, breathing in to lift up and breathe out to relax them down. That's it, so really trying to get the shoulder blades off. One more like that. And then you're going to take the palms facing away, that's it, and then we're going to do backstroke arms. So you're just going to send one above and one below down to the floor, and swap, and swap, and swap. So we're doing it a little bit faster than maybe what we normally do in class. Okay, going to stretch through the shoulders. Okay, and then from there, we're going to take them back up towards the ceiling. Now your palms are facing one another. And you're going to take your arms out into an arm fly. So straight out to the side, level with the shoulders. So maybe lower the arms slightly, Anne. Yeah, that's it, perfect. And out to the side. Breathing in one way, breathing out, release. We're just doing these a little quicker, just to warm up the muscles, because it's early morning. And just 2 more of these. And then we're going to change it into a kind of diagonal. So what I want you to do is just think sending your arms out at a diagonal. So it's top right, your right arm is going top right, and your left arm is going bottom left. And just keep going in that direction. We're not swapping, so you just keep going on the same direction. So my right arm is going top right, my left arm is going bottom left. And then go over to the other side, Alison, if you've been doing it on one side. So now my left arm is going top left, and my right arm is going bottom right. That's it. And last one like that. And then just to see if your brains are working this morning, palms facing away from you again. And you're going to split like we did earlier. So we split top and bottom, but then you're going to circle them around and then bring them back up towards the ceiling. So this is called windmills. So you split your arms top to bottom, that's it, and then circle them around and then bring them back up towards the ceiling. So it's a bit like your backstroke arms, Alison, first. So it's one arm goes up, one arm goes down, and then you circle them around. You're doing it right, Anne, that's great. And split and draw a circle around. Split top and bottom, circle around. And just lower the arms down towards your side, so palms facing down. We're going to take both arms up towards the ceiling and both arms over behind you, and then back up towards the ceiling and then down by your thighs. So we're breathing in to lift, breathing out to take them over our head, breathing in to lift, breathing out to take them down. Nice. So your shoulders have had a really good warm up now. Last one like that. Okay, and then we're going to go down to our legs or our feet. So I just want you to cross your leg casually, and we're going to do some ankle circles. So nice big ankle circles, round in one direction. Make that circle as big as you can with the ankle. Very common for our ankles to be stiff in the morning. And then we're going to go in the other direction, so reverse it. That's it. And then we're going to go to pointing and flexing. So point your foot and then flex those toes and the ankle back as far as you can go. Point and flex. Point and flex. That's it. Good. So you should feel some real work in that shin or on your calf muscle, depending which are tense in the morning. And then we're going to go from there into a hamstring stretch. So having your leg up in the air, try to hold behind the thigh. And then we're just going to bend the leg and stretch it up as far as you can. So as straight as you can. You may not go straight, but you're going to go bend to straighten, and then add that flex as well, because that will get even more of a stretch in the back of your leg. So bend, straighten and flex those toes. If that feels like it's pulling on your neck, and you could release the hand and just do it freestyle, because I want your neck to be as relaxed as it can be. And just last one of these on this side, and we're going to swap legs. So over to the other one, just casually cross that leg over the other one, and then you're going to take nice big ankle circles. That's it. And then let's go in the other direction. Oh, my little left ankle's clicking away. And then we're going to go to point and flex. Point and flex. So that sort of birdy feeling builds up quite quickly, I think, in the shins when you're doing this. You really pull those toes towards you and the ankle. And then we're going to go into your hamstring stretch. So stretch that leg up. You can hold behind the thigh or just leave it up there. And then we're going to bend the knee, stretch the leg, and flex those toes towards you. You'll immediately feel how that when you flex, how that really switches on all those back leg muscles. That's it. And last one like that. This time, just come back into single knee fold. And with that leg, we're going to do some knee circles. So we're just going to stir the knee around. So imagine you've got paint on that kneecap, and you're trying to paint circles on the ceiling with the kneecap. If you really focus on that, you'll do a lovely circle. Try to keep that other knee as still as you can. And then let's go in the other direction. So stirring in the other direction. So I'm just trying to make that circle as big as I can without disturbing the other knee, which should just be pointing up towards the ceiling. And then bring that one to rest, and let's take the other leg up into a single knee fold, and we'll repeat it on that side. So again, just stirring the circle around, stirring the knee around, I meant. So you need to keep a little bit of engagement in the abdominals. So think about drawing the tummy in a little bit to avoid any wobbling around. And then let's go in the other direction. That's it. And then we'll lower that leg back down. We take the arms up towards the ceiling again, palms facing away. And we're going to do a starfish, which is when you send one arm behind you and the opposite leg stretches out. And then you bring them back in. And then I'm doing right arm, left leg, full stretch, and then bring it back in. So one foot's always on the floor, and the other one is stretching, so it's not quite so active. That's it. So we're working both the shoulders and the hips at the same time. That's it. And one more on each side. And then we're going to bring those knees back to bend. And we've still got our feet hip distance apart. We're going to go and work into the pelvis. So now I want you just to do that pelvic tilt. So we're just going to rock the pelvis towards us, pressing the back of the belly button down into the floor, and then rock away and create that little arch in your back. So we're just rocking towards you, and then rocking away. Usually breathing out as you rock towards you and breathing in to rock away. So you're really trying to get that back to move. Let's add the chin tuck to that because it makes it exaggerates the emotion a bit more. So as you rock towards you, send the chin down towards your chest. As you rock away, just lift that chin slightly. So rocking towards you, put the chin down towards the chest. Rock away, lift the chin slightly. You keep the head down on the floor, the head stays relaxed on the floor. It's just adding a little bit of chin lift. Get the spine moving from top to bottom. So let's still our legs there, or still our pelvis, sorry. Bring the feet together, feet, knees and thighs, squish them together. We're going to go into a hip roll. So we'll just send the legs over to one side, keep looking directly up at the ceiling for the moment, and then bring the knees back to center. Then send the knees over to the other side, and bring yourself back to center. So make sure that upper foot comes off the floor. So really squeeze the knees together so the knees have to stay completely together and that upper foot is going to have to come off the floor. Yeah. Let's add the neck to that. So as you send the knees over to one side, look in the opposite direction. Bring the head back to center as the knees come back to center, and then take the knees over to the other side and look in the opposite direction. So we're getting a lovely rotation all the way through the spine. One more in this direction. And then we're going to part the legs so they're almost as wide as your mat. So my knees are apart. And we're going to carry on with a roll. So we're just going to, again, keep the head straight for the moment. You're just going to roll those knees over to one side and then roll them over to the other side. Your feet are much wider, so the feet are as wide as the mat. And what this does is it then really starts to involve your hips as well. So you get this hip extension at the front of the hip. That's it. And now let's involve our neck. So as the knees go over to one side, you look in the opposite direction, bring the knees back to center, and then look over again, opposite direction to the knees. And then bring them back to hip distance apart. Those feet are hip distance apart. And we're going to go into your full spine curl. So taking that pelvic tilt that you did earlier, we're going to carry on with that as you start to lift those hips up towards the ceiling, working through the spine, vertebra by vertebra, pushing the hips up towards the ceiling, hold it there, and then roll back down, vertebra by vertebra. So let's breathe in at the bottom, breathe out as you start to tilt the pelvis, pubic bone to belly button, roll up through the spine, open up those hips, hold it there, and then roll back down, breathing out, relaxing that rib cage. So we're trying to work sequentially through the spine. And on the next one, you're going to roll up through the spine, but when we're at the top, we're going to hold it there at the top, and you're going to see if you can open one knee, but without disturbing the pelvis. So my pelvis remains level. I just send one knee out to the side, and then the other knee out to the side, and then I'm going to roll back down. So it's just adding a little bit of extra work, holding that spine curl position. So rolling up through the spine, hold it at the top, keep that pelvis level, then open one knee to the side, bring it back to center, roll the other knee out to the side, bring it back to center, and then roll yourself back down. One more like that. Very nice. And roll yourself back down. Let's just bring those feet and knees, thighs together again. We'll just go into your little hip rolls just to release any tension in the back. Just roll them from side to side for a moment. And then up to you. You can either just roll onto the side and come up to sitting, or you can take your hands behind your thighs and see if you can roll yourself up. Otherwise, just roll onto your side. We're going to have our feet hip distance apart again. You're going to have your hands behind your thighs. So this is for support. You're going to start as upright as you can. So really think about pulling yourself up towards the ceiling. And we're going to start with just a C curve. So you're just going to breathe in as you scoop the tummy back. And then breathe out as you sit up tall again. So you're going to scoop the tummy back, roll to the back of your pelvis. And then lift yourself back up onto your sitting bones. So if you think of your pelvis like a bowl, you're rolling to the very edge of the bowl, and then you're pulling yourself back up. One more like that. And then I'd like you to go into, we're going to activate those abdominals. So I want you to, you can still use your hands behind your thighs. You're going to go into a C curve, and then you're going to roll yourself back. And then you're going to roll forward and lift yourself back up. That's it. That's it, and yeah. So we breathe into C curve, so that's just scooping the tummy back. And then you're going to roll back on the out breath, hold on the in breath, and then breathe out as you roll forward and lift up. If that's feeling too much, just stay with the C curve. So just stay with the rounding of the back and then the lifting. So sometimes if we feel like it's going into our back, the reason for that is because we've got to really use those stomach muscles at the front to do all the work. Last one like that. That's it, Alison, good. And then lift yourself back up. And we're going to then just come over into 4-point kneeling. Finding our good 4-point kneeling position, we've got our index fingers pointing forwards. We've got wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're going to go into your cat and extended cat. So starting with not moving the head, just start with the pelvis. Tucking the pelvis, rolling up through the back, ending at the bow of the head. And then you simultaneously lift the head, lift bottom, send the breastbone forward into your extended cat. And then find your neutral, and then you repeat it. So it's tucking the pelvis, rolling up through the back, ending at the bow of the head, and then lifting the head, sticking the bottom out simultaneously to get into your extended cat, and then find your neutral. The thighs dropping vertically down into the floor, and try not to hinge back as we do it. And then we're going to come up to standing. So obviously we want to leave you standing to get on with your day. So let's just have our feet hip distance apart in parallel. And then we're going to tip the weight into our toes before we start. And then you start to lift up and do your heel raise. And then lower back down. So make sure that the weight tips into the balls of the feet before you start to lift the heels off the floor. And then lower back down. And one more time like that. Lifting and lowering. On the next one, you're going to lift those heels. I've got to go sideways on to see what I'm doing. And I'm going to keep my heels lifted as I bend my knees. And then press the heels down to the floor and stand back up. So up onto the balls of your toes, bend the knees, press the heels down into the floor, And stand back up. One more like that. Up onto your toes. Bend your knees. Oh, I lost it. Press heels down and stand back up. And then from there, I just want you to take your arms, again, to do the backstroke arms. We're just going to send one up, one down. And then lastly, take the arms forward, palms facing one another, take the arms out to the side. And then we're just going to do a crisscross action where we're going to touch heel towards knee. Heel towards knee. Trying to keep the back as upright as possible. So we're going to take the elbow as close to the knee as we can with staying upright. And then just to come back, I'm going to come back to face me. All we're going to do is swing the arms and allow the body to swing from left to right. There's a little rotation, loosening rotation of the body. And then you're all done.